Kunjani bafethu bosisi bantu abadala, even the little kids. Welcome to yet another crazy episode right here on the Wholesome Institute. My name is Ubongi Kosoko Mahlangu and I am your host. Thank you for tuning in. You could have been anywhere like Mhlabeni, but you chose to pull up on us. So appreciate that a great deal. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit that ding so that you don't miss any of the episodes that we drop. Before we get into today's segment, I want us to complete the set as per tradition, bafethu. Azor. So, today is Bambenge Green Tea, bafethu, is relaxele gyabanda, bafethu. It's winter. So, I hope you guys are keeping warm. And I hope nimnandi out there, you know? So, for today's show, bafethu, I want to tell you guys about the experience that I touched on a couple of episodes ago when I spoke about the fact that I think I caught a vibe at church, you know? So last week Sunday, went to church as I do every other Sunday. So I'll be honest, I don't make it to church every Sunday, but last week, during the week, something happened in my life that I'll touch on another episode where we'll unpack that. But something happened in my life and I realized, this coming Sunday, you know? So I decided on Saturday night to go to Kengzofu and I'm gonna hit the first service. So first service, kala 8:30, pelang 10. Second service, 10:30, pelang 12. So, then I wake up Sunday morning, I check iskati and it's 8:12, 12 minutes past 8, and I'm like, damn it, I overslept. So I'm still debating in my head, boy, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna try it now, get ready on time and rush to church? So luckily I live 5 minutes from Esonto and Buffet. So I decide, 3 minutes later, after thinking, I decide, no man, I have to attend this first service. Come hell or high water, I have to be there. So I jump out of bed, and I handle what I gotta handle, and I get ready, you know. Clean. So I left the house at about 9. So how the service unfolds is the fact that they normally do praise and worship for like 30 minutes, and then the rest of the hour they get into the message and the preaching. So I'm like, no, standard, if I move now, I'll at least catch them in the middle of praise and worship. I standard. I get there by my Korah too. I walk in. So normally I'm at church, but because I'm with my wife and my 2-year-old daughter, we're normally in a section called the family room. So it's not in the main auditorium. It's something in Hamba, it's called Christian Family Church. So there's a lot of compartments to the church. So I'm normally in the family room, but since my wife and my kid are not around, I decided, actually, I haven't been to the main auditorium for his Katisbaya. Let me hit the main auditorium because in your phone and a family room, pull up, clean. They're still in the middle of praise and worship. I get in there. I'm feeling the vibes, singing, rejoicing, and just praising the Lord and thanking Him for the fact that I'm able to be at church on that specific morning. So Mangena, on the Sunday, on my way into church, Baskaya, a little small nyana container or not cubic, small nyana zatin cup. It's a cup that's got a red liquid. I'm guessing it's like boma fruit juice nyana, and then on top of it they've got a little white round situation, something I can call islalo. So I think a lot of people will understand that, but yeah, Islalo is sort of the bread, I guess. So on that specific day, Bafwetu, was Pentecost Sundays. And you can Google the meaning and search for what that actually means. So I standard, I take that. We go into praise and worship, yeah, purely praise and worship. We get into the message of the day. And before they get heavily into that, we have to now um, eat the slalom and then sip the wine, you know? Beautiful experience. I'm there. I'm partaking in all of that. Umnandi, the vibe. Everyone is energetic. Everyone is excited. I we get into it. They get into the message of the day. So there's a pastor called Dion Hockey, and he's preaching on the day, and he's preaching some heavy stuff. And that service really touched me, you know. Intintile, and I realized, which yazin. Now, for some context, I've been attending that same church for, I think, Mama, over 20 years. But I feel like I've always just been a surface level attender, you know? I mean, I've gone as far as getting baptized, but that's pretty much as deep as I've plunged into my involvement in the ministry. So I clean. On that specific day, I happened to spot one of my friends in the crowd in Jayamus Buddha that I've shared so many experiences with. We've lived another life altogether, you know. So to see him at church was such a beautiful thing. So service goes on, Ziakala. Uh, Before the service ends, umfundisi uyasho ukuthi bafethu, tonight at 5 p.m. we're doing crazy things. We're gonna be laying hands on people. We're gonna be praying for people. It's just gonna be a lit situation. And pull up if you can. If you know people who are sick, who need prayer, and whatever the case is, Osanabo, it's gonna be that type of affair. So I make a mental note of it in my head, and I'm like, eh, lamele boy. So I clean isonto liyaphela, hlangana nenja yami uSibuda. Boy, what's going on? Ain't seeing you in a minute. Hi, lovely seeing you. He even tells me, "Guti boy, nami mangiloku ngila." I'm looking around and I'm thinking about you, and I'm like, hey, Pile out there. Because I think he obviously knows which I attend that same church. So he tells me, good to know, boy. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing Bible college. This is his third attempt, and he's hoping with at least this time he pulls through. And whatever the case is, we wrap it up. Tell him, boy, and I'll see you next week. Whatever the case is, I move on with my day. So I carry on with my day, clean. About 4:30, I'm like, shit. I need to start getting ready because the 5 o'clock service is where I plan to be, because I really want to experience this moment, and I want to be in the space, but more importantly, I want the pastor to lay hands on me and pray for me, you know, because I sort of felt like, you know what, I need to reconnect. I need to reconnect myself with my maker, and this felt like the perfect opportunity. So clean, I get ready, pull up to church again, and I sit through the service, powerful stuff. He's preaching. Towards the end of the service, he does an altar call. Altar call, Vele. As soon as he calls, Vele, go to yo. If you want to reconnect, phakamisa isandla. Hayi ntwana yimi lapho ngiphakamisa isandla. So as soon as you do that, they normally ask one of the deacons or one of the ushers lapha esontweni ukuthi bakusondele vele, and then lay a hand on you, and then obviously they will pray with you during that moment. But more importantly, they're gonna ask you to stand up in front of the congregation, and then uze phambili, and all of the people who I guess need that prayer for the altar call will be brought to the front, and then they'll pray for everyone, and then they'll bring everyone back to one of the spaces at the back where they'll capture your information, and then they'll pretty much tell you about just other cool stuff that you can get involved in, La Pesonte. So I've done this process before. I think twice, three times before, but I felt like, as in this specific time, I need to do it because I feel like this is part of the journey that I need to undergo to reconnect. So I shot at it. So they take us back, fill out the information cards, whatever the case is, say a quick prayer, and then we head back into the auditorium. But now, obviously, the service carried on while we were taken out back. So umfundisi sekababizile labantu azobathandazela for now the main prayer type of sesinibeka izandla type of thing. So ubabizile, so thina esibuya ngada sebasithumela straight phambili vele. Sithumela phambili, hayi bathi okay bafethu folani, siyafola lapha elayinini. Itiye lami bafethu, I haven't even touched my tea. So bathi folani bafethu, hayi sesifolile lapha ntwana. So it's quite a big stage, The stage is groot lapha esontweni. We lined up across the stage. So umfundisi uzoza kanje, uzonithandazela so agibele stage around abuye ngapha, so mabaqeda ukuthandazela, you obviously need to then head back or make space for other people. So mangifika mina, I line up clean, and 5 minutes later umfundisi sekabuyile ngapha, yasithandazela vele. So what you normally see in the scenarios where bathandazela abantu is that certain people will be there behind whoever is getting prayed for to sort of support or to assist this person in the event that lo muntu uyawa, So I clean, bayathandazela abantu, abanye bayawa, boom. Ngihleli lapha ngithi, baba, kwenzakala. But obviously, this is not a new sight. I've seen a lot of people being prayed for and a lot of people falling. Esontweni. So, fundisi uyeza kanje yamshalo phambi kwami. Ngibona untanga wile, untanga kawami. So, ufika ke ngamthinta uthi so in that moment, I think I'm waiting to feel something overwhelming ezongwisa, So I two-step nyana ngithi, so labantu abasemva kwami nabo, they're like, okay, let's catch him or he's not falling. Yadlula umfundisi, he finesses the next person he touches loyo muntu phansi, but obviously they catch him ukuthi angalimali magawa. That person uyawa, and he carries on. So mina, because I'm done, I'm like, okay, bafethi ting shift, and I head back to my seat and I proceed to watch the entire thing. So mangiloku ngihleli lapha, I'm obviously feeling the spirit and I'm in it, I'm excited. I'm like, this is a vibe. And then I get hit by a very strong realization, bafethu, yokuthi it's important to fall mabakuthandazela. It's important to fall mabakuthandazela. I'll tell you why ngisho so, bafethu. Esikhathini esibhaya, when you're up there and you're waiting to get prayed for, sometimes you expect this overwhelming punch from Mike Tyson or Baby Jake ukuthi yinto ezobuyisa, So you normally, now you want to be an opposing force, or you want to stand your ground, for lack of a better wording. And then umfundisi makakuthandazela kuthinta athi nawe uyamanga ukuthi amfundisi. Kanti kwenzakalani? So it hit me ukuthi bafethu ibalekile la lenye ukuthi uwe. So that falling for me speaks to one thing. That falling speaks to the fact that when you were in that moment, you were in a moment of total surrender. And only in that moment of total surrender can you actually catch the vibe in its entirety. Angazi uyangithola na mfowethu. So esikhathini esibhaya simile lapha, we're expecting this heavy thing to knock us off our feet, but that's never going to happen because you are still in your own way and you haven't surrendered to the moment. So you can't fully receive this thing that is meant to pass through you and knock you off your feet. So I'm feeling it, damn it. And I'm thinking, damn, should I go back? Because now I think I've cracked this entire thing, you know? And in as much as I'm feeling like I caught a vibe, but I'm like, ish, boy, I need catching yonke, man. I need Bambi Pisnya. So that realization hit me, and I've been thinking about it all week. Damn. That space really needs you to leave yourself out of it. Skip wena and totally surrender. Uke wabona mawuthambise umzimba kanje and you are in a space of total surrender. Only then are you able to feel these subtle forces, these spiritual, non-physical things that come with prayer and come with the divine energy. So refer to that, I feel like was a message I wanted to share, Vandaag. I've decided, good yes, next time I get my hands laid on, I'm fully surrendering. Bazong topa pansi dona yam. But yeah, despite the fact that I didn't fall, I really feel like something profound really happened to me. And I'm excited to go back, man. Nakusasa mele ngibone ukuthi kwenzakalani. I need to be there. I need to be in the space. I feel like there's a lot of myself that I can unpack from just being in that space. But more importantly, I want to do things like Bible college as well, Bible study. I think that's a factor, or that's a chapter of my life that I haven't really focused on with like full force, you know? So I'm keen to go back there before to Sasa Sunday, or maybe you're watching it today, or maybe you're watching it on Sunday. Yeah, man, just make sure you do the right thing. Make sure you take care of your health, your spirituality, your physicality, but also your emotional well-being. Ibalulekile. I'm gonna do another episode actually just about emotional well-being. For me, I realized something very profound about that, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. But anyway, that's all I have for you today, Bafetu, the Wholesome Institute. Thank you so much for tuning in. Trusty!